Hi, I'm I am Cohen Certenberg. I run Torchlight Cinema, and I'm here to do a commentary on Suicide Squad. My little riff on it. This is my first kind of big hit in a while, so I thought, commentary time, or at least it warranted it. Before I started, I really want to talk about the inspirations behind like the aesthetic that I made, because I wasn't a big fan of the movie that came out. And I'd never planned to do anything like it in the first place. Like I don't see the point in making anything similar to something that already came out that was subpar anyway. I started writing in like December of last year, so this has been like almost 8-9 months that it took to make it now. Originally I was going to make something else and then go back to this, but my little project I was going to make failed, so I just ended up making this little thing. And I want to talk about the inspirations that it took to make this. I don't have to mention Quentin Tarantino's movies. Everyone else already has mentioned his inspiration for me. But I want to mention, like, when it comes to a visual template I used to, like, try and make this movie after, the 2011 film Drive, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, that was a big inspiration to me. The Raid, Hot Fuzz, that's my favorite comedy, and Hard Boiled by John Woo. Those were big inspirations on this project as well. Sorry, I have notes. I have notes. You can hear the notes moving around. So I'm going to start the movie. There we go. I forgot to turn off the sound. Sorry about that. When it comes to this film, like the opening credits thing, I really, really wanted it to feel like a film from like the 60s and 70s. I always like their kind of opening things, in particular westerns. Westerns always had really, really energetic opening scenes, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I think that's the best opening credit scene of all time, right next to Drive, that 2011 film I mentioned. Drive has a really its own tone that it sets up in the opening credits. And so, like, the nerd writer made this little video about how art is packaged and how to use titles in cinema. And he made it after I made this, but like watching that video was like, yes, that's why I do these opening credits things, because so much of art has to deal with how it's packaged and how it's presented to the audience. So I do like the opening credits sting, and I do chapter titles, something I borrowed from Tarantino, because I think, yeah, it'll really fit the aesthetic of this world that I was creating, because this really exists in a universe of its own. It's like, it feels like the crazier part of the DC universe that's ultra violent. I face some criticism for violence, but honestly, like, it doesn't matter. Guy getting his nuts shot off. Shot in the nuts. That was supposed to be a shot in the nuts for those who didn't understand it. But violence is just like... What really interests me and what keeps revealing itself to me in my work is the worst parts of human nature. Which is why when I made this version of the Suicide Squad, I really took the concept of a group of psychopaths and ran with it. And because I went so hard with it, I didn't use the character Harley Quinn, because I didn't think that she'd fit very well in the world that this presented, because it's just like, it goes with the psychopath and kind of, it's a bit of a black comedy too. There's some funny stuff in here. Dialogue's funny, but not everybody's gonna get the jokes, because like, there aren't quotes around the jokes anymore. It's not like my earlier work. That was all like, ooh, look at us, we're all jerks, and we have, like, a self-aware sense of humor, ha ha ha. No, it's a really nice little black comedy. I'm really proud of this. And the writing and the beats and the dialogue, and, like, in particular, what I was really, really going for this was, like, kind of like Dirty Dozen, almost presented as, like, you know, that Outsider Group movie, because so much wasn't done in the actual movie. I was just like, yep. The script I started writing in December, was already wildly different, and I was going to try and make it resemble the movie to retrofit it, but when it came out and wasn't good, I thought, yep, I can just do whatever I want now. This zoom shot isn't an actual zoom. I didn't zoom in the camera manually. I did this in post. Yeah, that's that. When the voice cast for this, it changed so radically. I was originally gonna have like a bunch of different people do X, Y, and Z, but some of the people I wanted couldn't voice act, and it ended up changing kind of horribly, and I was just angry. Oh, and in this dialogue scene where Rick, he's giving everybody the rundown on it, there's like a neat little detail that you'll notice later when when spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't seen the movie. Deadshot betrays the Suicide Squad. There's an anonymous tip given to Lex Luthor, and he ends up spotting the squad the second they come in. It's revealed the tip was given by Deadshot. When Rick says "don't cooperate," when he says those words, the camera cuts to Deadshot to imply that he was gonna betray everyone. I don't think everyone caught that detail, but it's just part of trying to be a good director. Stuff I do. Oh, and I've changed a lot of my directing style in general. I use a lot of mediums. I used to always go for wides because I wanted everything to feel epic, and I used to do too much close shots. In my most popular video by a wide margin, a lot of the framing is too wide. Often, I don't know why it's so popular. It's not directed particularly well. I think I wrote a good screenplay for Lego Flash, Captain Cold, my most popular video, but I don't think I directed it very well. But even then, this has a way better screenplay behind it. Oh, and to make this look like night, I only lit the scene with flashlights and brick stuff lights. I put that in the little street lamp you might have noticed in the background. And I took a lamp, I pointed it down at the table and took a white piece of paper and put it right under it to make it reflect all over the set, but still give it a feeling of night. Make it feel like it was nighttime, which ended up actually looking better than I thought it would. Trying to think of something to say. Notes, save me my notes. No. Oh yeah, the music I used, the song here that played, it's called, right before they get to the LexCorp building, it was called California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. For the aesthetic of this movie, I really thought older music would fit better. I don't have anything against new music. Enough good new music comes out to justify the whole Def Jam, Music Island Group, Young Money Records. They make enough decent singles to justify their existence, but I just prefer old music for my movies, and I always liked it better. And this action scene, man, this took a month to shoot because I ended up spending all of summer on this. And I used actual fake blood. In my earlier videos, all of the blood I used was just paint and modeling clay, and this one I used modeling clay and actual fake blood because I wanted it to just feel different from my other movies. But honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to use actual fake blood ever again because there were things I wasn't happy with when it comes to this. I didn't intend for every shootout to end up having walls covered in blood and sinew, but that just kind of ended up happening. Every shootout became this unruly monster. So I thought to myself, fuck. But yeah, that happened. Oh, and also the lights are tinted yellow to show that something was going to go wrong in the scene, cautionary. So I set all the lights off to the side and put yellow sticky notes in front of them to make it be tinted yellow to give it off. And there are also certain little overexposed spots and areas there, and every once in a while, and I think that looks nice. And a freaking green screen. I hate green screen so much. I had to do it in that scene. The reason why I don't do digital blood effects is because I think if you don't do something practical that you could do practical, you're just lying to the audience, and they deserve something better than that. So just do that the best you can. Figure it out yourself. Guerrilla filmmaking was made off of this. That's what guerrilla filmmaking is. This is white knuckle, barely any budget. I spent $100 making on this because of all the figures, but that's almost no money at all. And it ended up actually, this and a couple other videos ended up making that money back and then some. So thank God for that. In this scene, a really cool song plays. It's a fugue by Ennio Morricone. He made the music for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The song is called Bestiality, and it is not copyrighted, which is pretty awesome. What to say about this? Yeah, that's probably the most realistic instance of violence. All the violence in this movie, it's so exaggerated. I was surprised that people were actually genuinely bothered by this. But this scene, yeah, when Blockbuster's crushed, that's the only realistic instance. So I cut down some of him getting crushed because I thought it'd be too disturbing. A lot of it cut down and cut out. So that was tough to get rid of. And now that we get to the end part, let me look at my notes again. And now we're gonna get into the scene where Deadshot betrays the squad. In the original script, like the first draft, there were 6 different drafts of this script, and the final was the 7th. In the original draft, Deadshot didn't actually betray the Suicide Squad. Originally, he and Captain Boomerang were the last ones left standing, and he was like, you know what, I'm so sick of you, screw this, I'm gonna beat you up and leave. And then he lost his fight with Captain Boomerang and got stabbed in the eye. In every single draft, Deadshot died. I never cared much for the character Deadshot. I mean, I try to make him cool and stuff, like the way he is in the comics. He's like, I'm a cold-blooded killer and I don't care about anyone. But honestly, I was thinking to myself, man, in a group of psychopaths, he's one of the worst. So I just feel like the story kind of lended itself better to me if he died. And yep, stabbed in the eye. Ooh, and Captain Boomerang snapping his arm back into place. Originally, I wasn't going to have him do that, but I thought to myself, nah, bruv, it'll be cooler if he does. And, originally here, Captain Boomerang was going to walk over to Katana to try and save her, and then faint from blood loss. So, everyone would be stuck there. It would be kind of like a nihilistic ending, but I thought to myself, no, let's give the viewers a little bit of closure. And just the day before today, I released a little scene of Katana saving Captain Boomerang that I cut from the movie because, I could not find the right place for it. Originally, it was going to be cut in between the final scene of Deathstroke and Rick finally catching up to Lex. It was going to be, you see the one guy who Lex was doing a deal with get shot in the head, and then it was going to cut straight to Katana saving Captain Boomerang, but I thought it would have been way too jarring. It just distracted from the ending too much. After that, I really couldn't find a place for it, so I just cut it out completely. But I think it was a cool scene, which is why I decided to give it the light of day an entire month after I finished the movie. On this scene, the green screen, I was not happy with it. I wasn't glad with the way it turned out. I mean, no movie's perfect. This one has flaws. It's probably one of my better projects. But, I guess, yeah, you just roll with the punches. It's not the end of the world. And here we go. This is the end. Thanks for listening to me ramble on and on about my movie. I hope you guys have a nice life, a nice day, and goodbye.